And we are live on YouTube. Welcome to the Speak to Council session for the Rochester City Council. Today is April 14th, 2020, and I will call the roll. Councilmember Evans, Councilmember Gruber.
Here.
Councilmember Harris.
Here.
Councilmember Lightfoot.
Here.
Councilmember Lupien.
Here.
Councilmember Ortiz.
Here.
Councilmember Patterson.
Here.
Councilmember Pio.
Here.
President Scott.
Here.
Okay. For today's Speak to Council session, we have three individuals who sent information to us before the meeting. The first individual is Michelle Garcia Davis, and her topic is Councilmember Jose Pio. Her comments are as follows. This week, I saw Councilman Jose Pio's divisive Facebook post. I read his apology, but I'm truly alarmed by the ideology behind his disturbing words. He is in a position to make public or policies for people of all races. His post has delineated that he does not see African Americans and Afro-Latinos to be worthy of his efforts. They are the main demographic that will be affected by the current coronavirus pandemic. It is never okay to demand that we stop discussing racial disparities in health, as he has. It is and has been an ongoing problem. Our city residents have lost confidence in his ability to administer without prejudice. In good faith, he should resign or be removed from the taxpayer-funded seat. Hashtag Jose renuncia, hashtag Jose resign. The second comment came from Allie Dentinger, and she writes, in the midst of this public health crisis, it is more important than ever to provide support to the most vulnerable members of our community. Our best defense against the spread of COVID-19 is to stay home and practice good hygiene. These simple tasks are much more difficult or even impossible to accomplish for people who are experiencing homelessness. This leaves anyone who is experiencing homelessness, whether they are staying in a shelter or outside, at much greater risk of contracting and or spreading COVID-19 than those of us with permanent housing. We strongly urge you to take drastic action and pass the House the Homeless Act that the citywide tenant union of Rochester, the Rochester Homeless Union, Vocal New York, Rochester Chapter, Reach Advocacy, and St. Joseph's House of Hospitality have all endorsed. We believe that this piece of legislation would, one, greatly improve our community's ability to help homeless Rochesterians move into permanent housing, and two, keep rent in Rochester more affordable for all tenants by encouraging landlords to keep units occupied. A shelter is not permanent housing. A tent is not permanent housing. A hotel is not permanent housing. What we are proposing is a more permanent and potentially cheaper solution to a problem that has always existed and is only being more clearly exposed by the current crisis. We recognize that we spend more hours than most interacting with homeless members of our community. Our days are spent working in the soup kitchen and emergency shelter at St. Joe's and at Peace Village. Almost all of the individuals we encounter in these places have a strong desire to move into permanent housing. Any one of them would tell you that the idea that homelessness is a choice couldn't be further from the truth. Many face significant struggles with things like mental health, addiction, and disabilities, but there is no reason these struggles need to lead to homelessness. People also face great social barriers like low incomes, high rents, dysfunctional social services systems, high eviction rates, and public policy that values the interests of investment property owners more than the idea that housing is a human right and everyone deserves a safe place to live. Perhaps the most significant barrier people face is overcoming homelessness is the idea that seems so firmly rooted in so many of our heads that homelessness is a personal and individual failing or choice rather than a social and communal one. The presence of such great homelessness in our community says more about the values of those of us who hold privilege and power than it does about the people who are victims of that homelessness. Do we value property and money more than we value human dignity and life? Why or what do our various faith traditions have to say about these priorities? Thank you to those members of City Council who have been willing to dialogue with us about the need to support the homeless in our city and about the proposed legislation. We challenge you to really believe that not only is safe, affordable, and permanent housing a possibility for our city, but that you have the right to take you have the ability to take concrete steps to make this possibility a reality. Please introduce and pass the House the Homeless Act. Thank you for your time. Our final comment tonight is from Teresa Bowick. I'm writing on behalf of the divisive position Councilman Peo has taken toward the Black community in Rochester. He has completely divorced himself of any obligation to the well-being of Blacks in the city. The attached information copied from his Facebook page reflects his lack of empathy for a young life lost to gun violence. Furthermore, he calls on Black leaders to stop complaining about health disparities that directly impact them and their children. Councilman Peo has made it loud and clear that he does not and will not represent all residents in the city of Rochester. His words and actions are a threat to public health. It is my belief that he will use this dangerous and divisive mindset on city council business to cause more harm than good. Since he has chosen not to represent all residents in the city of Rochester, I believe he should be removed from the city council immediately. That concludes the remarks from the Speak to Council session.
Thank you. Since there are no further remarks, then that would conclude our Speak to Council segment. Council will reconvene at 7:30 p.m. We are adjourned.